Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Dilano Taylor, who will be fighting on XKO 67. Hello, Dilano. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, boss?
I'm good. Uh, Dilano, you will be fighting against, I think, that quite interesting fighter. It's Donovan Beard. So there are a few days away from this fight. And if you can tell me, how do you feel before this fight?
Um, I could give you the typical answer and say everything like, "Oh man, I feel great. This is the hardest training camp that I've ever had. This and this." Um, but I feel good. I feel regular. This is a fight like no other fight. I take everybody serious. I don't look past anyone, and I feel very confident in my victory.
And how do you rank him? Because you fought against like very very good opponents. So he's a former contender series fighter. He also is a former CFFC middleweight champion. So if you can tell me, how do you rank him as the fighter?
Um, what do you mean rank? Like as in like a 1 through 10 rank, or just my overall just view and idea of him?
No, like next to the previous fighters that you fought, like Rory, like Magomed Karimov.
Yeah. Okay. Uh. Hmm. I feel he is. I feel like it's different because I feel like I fought a lot of high level competition already, very young in my career. I feel like I've seen literally the top of the top, like some of the best in the world. Not saying that he doesn't have the potential to be the best in the world. I just know that me personally, I am better. I just know that I'm more well rounded. I think if I were to rank him, even if, let's say if it was, let's say, let's say if I was doing it on a scale from 1 to 10, and let's say Magomed Karamov was a 10, I'd put him at a 5. That makes sense. He's
Okay,
still a
okay.
dangerous guy. He's still long. He's very tall. Um, at some points in the fight, he can be unpredictable. He's a tough guy. He's no slouch. I would never look past him for sure.
And after this fight, do you think that you can get a chance to fight Contender Series this year?
Absolutely, either contender series or even a short notice call. That's literally my goal. That's all I see moving forward. I'm not looking past him, but I have a idea of what I want to accomplish, and I have goals and written down goals and a vision of where I see myself. So I think this is just the one more that I need to push.
And actually, for quite young fighter, you have a like crazy resume because you fought against very very tough opposition. And if you can tell me what is like, what do you think is a best performance of your career so far?
Huh. Ironically, the best performance of my career will be Rory MacDonald. Um, but I actually feel like my fight against Carlos Leal was one of my better performances, in my opinion. With Rory, I just got to showcase how well rounded I was. With Carlos Leal, I was very prepared. Was I in the right headspace mentally? I wasn't as matured as I am currently. But I think, in my opinion, that's my favorite fight, and that's for me was probably one of my better performances. Even though Rory was a more well-rounded fight for me.
Yes, but of course the knockout of Rory MacDonald, I think that the most fans know you because of this, because he was
Yes.
such a good fighter. He was of course a UFC title challenger, so the win was definitely a big one. But also you just lately defeated like Jordan Min. Previously you defeated like Juan Zeferino. So you not only
Yes.
fought against who is who, but you beat who is who.
Yeah, I did actually.
Mm,
Yeah.
and you are training in Killcliff, and this is probably like top, maybe the best gym, maybe like top two gyms in the world. And if you can tell me, how did you get to the team?
I started training at Killcliff. I want to say 2018, like December of 2018. and not December 2018. I lied. I'm sorry. Uh, August, probably August of 2018, maybe a little later. And because I had my first fight with Killcliff in 2018 when I fought Hector, Hector, Hector. Yeah, I think it was Hector. Um, I came there when I was 1-1 as a pro, and that's when I made the mental decision to like, if I want to be the best, I need to train with people who are the best or who at least consider themselves to be the best. Like, I need to change my mindset. I need to change the room that I was in. I needed to change, um, get not really change, but gain more perspective on coaching. Like, what is it that these coaches are seeing that the coaches that I currently have aren't seeing? And I needed to do that for myself. So I went there, everybody who goes to Kill Clip knows like there's like a trial process. Like you don't really just get in unless you have done something. And even when you have done something, they still test you in the gym and see like who you are, like what's really in here. And I feel like that's super important for fighters. And I like the fact that they do that because it creates kind of a very competitive environment, not just a not just a guy who could just pay money and just come in there and train and then get out. It gives you that reason to stay competitive, that reason to every day come in there and want to be better. So from my first days in there, that's basically the energy that I had to receive and that I have been receiving. So I feel like that's been one major reason why I had such an exponential growth in a very short period of time. But I also feel like with me taking a bunch of short notice fights in PFL, it kind of stunted my growth a little bit because I never had time to really mature between fights. I kind of just had to keep going and rolling and rolling and rolling to the next fight without really taking time to step back, assess here, and put things together for myself.
But probably it also was quite a good thing to take this kind of short notice opportunity because you defeated Rory because you were close to be a millionaire actually.
Yes. I'm not against it. I just feel like I could have had more time to mentally get myself in that position to prepare. You know, um, but yeah, I think it was good for me. It was good. It was good for me overall.
And Kill Cliff, of course, is like a room full of killers, like very good fighters, like champions. And who is your like regular sparring partner for let's say this fight?
Jason Jackson. Uh, I spar with Jason. I spar with Impa Kasanganai. Those are like my big brothers. Those are like the two guys that I train with the most. I feel out of anybody else in that gym. Um, and the thing with training with them is like I get a lot of pushback from both them. They get a lot of feedback from me as well. So it's never just I'm better than you because I've accomplished this, and this. It's always a bouncing off of ideas, a bouncing of concepts. Like we're all in the mindset where like we're all the same person. Like mentally, like you bleed just like I bleed. You have two hands, you have 2 feet, just like I do. If I can accomplish it, you can obviously accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? So it's never really anything to where I need to question if I'm doing anything right or wrong because they're going through the same things that I go through. You know, I see it firsthand. So, and if I know these guys are champions, these guys have the potential to be even greater champions to achieve even higher accolades. And I'm around these guys all the time. I absolutely 100% know I'm going to do it. Not that I can do it. I know I'm going to do it.
And probably when you train with these fighters, your like level of confidence also is like going up because you know that the toughest challenges are in the gym, not in the like cage
Absolutely,
when you are fighting.
absolutely, absolutely. There's no more second guessing who I am. I know who I am. So it's really good to have those guys in there to give me that energy to kind of push me and put me in that mind space and that mindset of knowing, not believing, knowing.
And after the fights, even after this fight, do you take any breaks in training, like that you just want to rest for a little bit, or you go to the gym like few days after and you still try to like improve maybe some weak points of your game?
The second one. After every fight, people are like, "Wow, you just had a fight. You're back in the gym already." Yeah, it's like I kind of live in there. I'm not gonna lie. Like I never really. I feel like it's all attributed to like the way I'm training too, because I kind of have like that Mamba mentality, that Kobe mentality. I've always had that mentality before I even knew what the Mamba mentality was. But I've always had that like concept, like, oh man, there's always so much to improve on. Like I could have done so much better in this area, that area, that area. Like not in the aspect of I'm going to be hard on myself if I didn't accomplish it the way I needed to accomplish it. In the aspect of like, okay, cool, I got caught with this. How can I avoid this for next time? And how can I sharpen up this for next time? And how can I make myself better overall? As a person. So um, me, even if I'm not training hard, I'll go to the gym and maybe I'll hit the bag. Maybe I'll shadow box for a couple rounds because people really take that for granted. Like shadow boxing is like you really testing your imagination. You really telling yourself how you're going to react in certain positions, in certain points in the fight, how you plan to move, how you plan to defend. You know, and a lot of people take that for granted, like having that ability to just move and imagine.
And you before you mentioned a short notice fight, and how quickly can you make a 170?
Maybe 2 weeks, shit, maybe a week. I don't really walk around heavy. I walk around like 188, 190. Like that's pretty light for most welterweights. A lot of welterweights walk around 200, 205. I don't get that big. I mean, I'm really tall, but I don't get that heavy.
And this is probably a really big advantage that you know that you can do it like 1 or 2 weeks, and sometimes the UFC short notice calls are happening. So this is a reason maybe why we can see you in the UFC quite quickly.
Yes, yes.
And do you have a fighter in the UFC that you would like to face? Let's say that you get a contract after this fight. Do you have any like fighter that you would like to face?
Actually, yes. Jack Della Maddalena. I like his style. I like the way he fights. Um, I'd actually like to fight him. Actually, yeah,
Yes, he's a like very good fighter, and he actually recently he defeated Gilbert Burns. So
yeah. I like to fight Jack. Actually, yeah. That's actually I feel like that'd be a good fight. I mean, it'll probably take some time to get to that point, but that's a guy I like to see.
and what do you think about Conor McGregor against Michael Chandler? Because it will happen soon. What is your prediction?
I mean, I train with Mike. He's a tough guy, very tough guy. Um, Connor's very good on the feet. I feel like it's just, I don't know. I just know it's going to be a good fight. I just know that the way Mike goes out there and likes to perform, and I know how Connor likes to go out there and perform. I feel like a lot of the times it pulls the best out of Mike when he goes out there and fight. So I like to see that. Like some guys are like fighters, and some guys are like the performers, and then some guys are like fighters with the performing aspect. And I feel like Mike and Connor are the third option. Like they're not just going out there to fight. They're not just going out there to perform. They're going out there to fight and show. Like they can make it look easy, and I feel like they do that really well.
I think that this fight will end in the first or second round. I don't see this.
Absolutely, just the way they fight. Yeah, they're going out there swinging. Absolutely.
Okay, Dilano, so many thanks for the conversation. I'm really looking forward to your next fight, and I hope that this year or maybe in 2025 we can see you in the UFC.
Appreciate you.